that you're talking about, twice exceptional children. One young man I had was very, very advanced in science and was practically failing everything else. And we were chatting one day, and I said, well, what's the problem? Because we rotated among teachers. I had him for science. Other teachers had him for language arts, social studies. And he said, well, Mr. Renzulli, they find out what I can't do, don't want to do, don't like to do, and they spend the rest of the year beating me to death with it. And that really was a cue to me that let's find out what he can do and what he wants to do and use that as our takeoff point for teaching him how to read better, for example. As a matter of fact, one of the best studies ever done was by Dr. Sally Reese, where she developed a reading interestalizer rather than kids just reading out of the reading book. And they did much better. They advanced much faster in their reading just by letting them pick their own book. I've often said about our work, it's nothing but organized common sense. Anybody on the street would say, sure, what would you expect? Anything else? And so that's one of the things. The other thing that's been an important part of my work is I distinguish between what I call lesson learning giftedness, and that's going to school well, getting whatever the teacher throws at you and throwing it back as fast and accurately as you can. And I'm never going to argue against the value of that. I'd have protesters outside my door, especially from the State Department of Oppression. I mean, the State Department of Education. But I distinguish between that and what I call creative productive giftedness. And basically, that's the type 3 component of the enrichment triad model, where we find an interest, we give youngsters the resources to explore it in a professional manner. That's type 2 enrichment. And there's always a product, a performance, a presentation, an audience, anywhere from hanging something on the bulletin board to having it published in a children's poetry magazine. Audiences always escalate. We always want to reach out to larger and higher and bigger audiences, as is the case with your podcast. And so that really is a way of summarizing what I think that my work is all about. Yes, the development of theories is valuable, 3 ring, but it's the instruments that make them deliverable.